What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with another new OT Universe video. Now, this is like a third take because I got a text message from my girlfriend, and my nana just called me, so I had to redo the video like 2 times, and I'm pretty much a little bit tired. But we're gonna continue this new video. There's gonna be a new series, a whole new start. This might be part 1 and 2, maybe 3, depends on how hour long I'm gonna go with this video. This will be what if Naruto was King of Kings. Now, what am I talking about? What is this I'm basically talking about? Why is Naruto King of Kings? And what the hell crazy idea am I doing? I know what y'all are thinking. Now calm down. I'm going to explain everything. So sit down, have a seat. This will be an 18SS. This will contain sex, craziness, gore, maybe some more. Hey, I don't know. Maybe some butt stuff. Probably not. Just joking, just joking. Don't take it literally. But this is just going to be a comedy based, what if. This is probably not going to be a what if. Comedy based what if. Probably going to be edgy, maybe not. But, yeah. What is this basically going to be about? So, this is basically, well, how can I say? What is the King of Kings? Well, the King of Kings is basically a king who's a king of everything. As king of all kings and everybody, including subjects. Now, who are the king? Who is the king? And the King of Kings. Well, basically, this King of Kings will have the basic capability of giving people chakra, taking away chakra. He's just a powerhouse. That's all you need to know. He has so many abilities that you will see in this video. But pretty much, how would this happen? How would Naruto be King of Kings? How would he be busted? And how is this story going to go? Well, first, we're going to start with Madara and Hiroshima, you could say. Now, I probably just murdered his name right there, but pretty much Madara and Hiroshima, those two great powerful ninjas, they've been fighting each other, and the war was still going on. This is where a couple of kings showed up, 3 kings, and the king of all kings. Now, the king of all kings sent out to attack Madara and Hiroshima and the rest of the Uchihas and stuff to get rid of them because they've been, you could say, fucking up with the land and shit, and also with the researches, which the king's been taking percents from that to make their own stuff, but since they've been doing too much, they have to go. Which the kings have been talking to the King of Kings, and basically saying, "Sir, we have to get rid of these. We got to get rid of these guys. They're doing too much. They're just fucking up the land. They're just doing too much." Which pretty much this is where the King of Kings says, "All right, I'll let y'all 3 kings get rid of them." Which their names are not relevant because they're in history. So pretty much they start attacking. Pretty much half of the Uchihas was had to deal with the kings and stuff. And the kings, they had magic and all that. So, and also they know jutsu. So they was just a powerhouse. Only Madara, Tomiraba, and Madara's brother, which he's alive in this, pretty much worked together and made a good alliance, and pretty much just destroyed the 3 kings. The King of Kings thought about it and says, okay, well, they're gonna be dead, so I might as well make a descendant, and that descendant will have that 1% gene, which he's gonna make it happen, and it's gonna be for that one person. So whoever gets it, gets it. And whoever doesn't, oh well. Now the king dies. The king dies and passed on his legacy and his kingdom. He sealed off his kingdom. So only the true king can open up the kingdom and stuff and revive the subjects, because the subjects got turned into stone. The king was a nut job. He was just an absolute nut job. So he basically sealed off his kingdom and sealed the people and turned them into stone. Now, and the only person who wasn't turned to stone was the butler to pretty much find the next person who is king. But pretty much all the years passed. Madara did the same thing. Madara's brother was still alive, so he questioned his brother with doing it, but everything just passed on. Now we're gonna start all the way with Minato. Now Minato is one of those descendants from a long line of the king. So Minato carried the 1% gene, but he can't use none of the king's powers. He doesn't even have full access of it. He can't use none of it. He just has the gene. But pretty much everything happens the same at the Nine Tails attack. The attack happened, all that stuff, and this is where Minato seals half of the Nine Tails in Naruto. And I'm gonna say it's the good Nine Tails. Because why is not? Why is not? Because no one never really give Naruto like the good Nine Tails. They always give him the bad one. So let's switch it up. Let's make him have the good Nine Tails. Now, this is where Naruto gets half of the Nine Tails sealed inside of him, and the others, the other seal gets sealed into Kushina. Now I know what you're thinking. Is Minato and Kushina going to be alive in this? Well, technically, yeah. Well, no. Actually, yeah. They will be alive in this. Just replied. Now, after they survive, pretty much Naruto has a sister. Now, Naruto will pretty much has a sister who will basically be born, and her name would just be named, um, what's a good name? Kusuo? Kusuo? Kizuyu? Kazuyu? Kazuyu? Yeah, Kazuyu. Kazuyu. Yeah, so basically her name is going to be named Kazuyu. Now, Naruto is basically born as the same at the age of 5. But pretty much, he is an outcast. He is an outcast of the Leaf because he's just different. As, how can I say this? He doesn't have his dad hair or his mom hair. He more like he has pure white silver hair. And his eyes is like silver, like unique silver, you could say. Well, white, you could say. Now, this is where Kushina does love her son Naruto, but she also, how can I say this? She loves him, but she doesn't. You could say she's sick. She has a little bit of a sickness, which the doctors are, she's in the hospital, so she can't really do anything. And Minato, he is still the Hokage, but he is more like trying to repair the leaf, so no one can really protect Naruto. I'm gonna say this is where Kazui, and Kazuyu and Naruto, his sister, are pretty much playing, and this is where original as Seimin happened in canon. Naruto pretty much protects Hinata, and they pretty much create a bond, similar as in canon, and this is where Naruto pretty much goes. But this is where Naruto gets attacked by Danzo. Danzo knows about it because, like I said, Danzo be doing his research. Well, Danzo have been doing his research, if I haven't said it. He have been doing his research of the King of Kings, and he pretty much knows that Naruto is one of the descendants. This is where he's trying to capture Naruto, or basically try to kill Naruto to take his DNA. He doesn't care if he's alive or not. He can deal with the consequences later. But pretty much this is where he sends his Almu members out of Naruto. And Naruto is pretty much poisoned too, so and he's 5 years old, so he's pretty much running and trying to, get to his house. But the Almu ninjas are pretty much counter, like attacking him from each decision, so he's pretty much injured and stuff. This is where he ends up at a cliff side, and well, pretty much ends up out of the leaf, and he's running. Which this is where the Almu ninjas are still chasing after Naruto. This is where Naruto pretty much is down on the ground, and he pretty much falls down on the ground and passes out. This is where he thinks to himself, this is not where he well, this is what he's saying. This is where I'm gonna die. I can't die here. I can't die here. Which this is where his power activate of the King of Kings. Now, this is where crowns start forming around him, and he begins to start standing up. The poison is pretty much draining from his body, and he begins to look at the Ambu ninjas, turning at them. Now, as he's turning at them, this is where Danzo is not there. Well, you could say he's there and he's showing himself. This is where Naruto pretty much pulls out, like summons a blade or a night blade, and he pretty much looks at him and says that he's going to be defeating him. Now this is where Danzo says, "Oh, so you're going to defeat all of us?" Which some more Ambu ninjas come out. This is where Naruto pretty much does a one single slash, and he pretty much sliced all the Ambu ninjas in half. This is where, of course, Danzo is coming in, and he's trying to charge in for the attack. Well, trying to back away from Naruto. This is where Naruto teleports right in front of him, and pretty much he says this: "What I give, I take." And he pretty much touched Danzo and took away his whole chakra. Basically, he took away his chakra, so now Danzo can't do chakra. Now, Of course, since Danzo can't do chakra or anything, this is where his how can I say this? He begins to lose. Well, his arm begins to kind of deform and go crazy, as since he doesn't have chakra to really fill up the shark. Well, some of the Sharinganais he has. I'm gonna say he has some Sharinganais. This is where the arms his arm begins to freak out and begins to like kill him, start killing him like a virus. But of course he runs away because Naruto let him run away, and Naruto says, "Enjoy, enjoy not having chocolate." Now this is where Naruto passes out and hits the ground, and this is where the butler comes in, and he's covered in robes. But this is where Minato heard what happened and trying to find where's his son at. But this is where the butler already took him. Now Naruto wakes up in this place, and he's pretty much wakes up well at a bed. This is where the butler says, Master, you're awake," which Naruto is confused and saying, "Who are you?" Which this is where the butler basically is explaining himself and saying that he's the butler and he was he's here for 1,000 years with immortality to serve the next king of kings, which he basically explains to Naruto that he's the next heir of the kings of kings. Which this is where Naruto is a little bit confused, but this is where the butler says, "Here, just touch my head." Well, touch my hand, which this is where Naruto touches his hand and basically gets all the memories of what the butler knows. And he basically gets everything and knowing about the king and stuff, and he realized that he has a kingdom. Now, this is where Naruto goes, and he basically sees the throne, which the butler says sit on it and everything will activate on its own. This is where Naruto sits on the throne, and this is where, as he sits on the throne, everything starts shaking, and Naruto is freaking out and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And this is the age of 5 Naruto, so keep in mind, guys, keep that noted. He's only 5 years old, and this is happening. He pretty much sits at the throne, and the whole kingdom starts floating up. Now, how can I say this? Now, the King of Kings before Naruto, he was a mad king, but he was also an intelligent and wise king. He knew that if he made a kingdom from the ground and just left it there, people would most likely come and try to invade his kingdom, or maybe trying to do some more shit. So, what of the do to make a kingdom upside the sky, up in the sky, and it floats based on his power. So, since Naruto is a new descendant, this is where the kingdom start floating up. Now, the people who's inside the kingdom and stuff, and was also on land that got frozen in time, they begin to unbreak and they look around, and they're trying to figure out what year they at. And some of the kids are like running to their moms and dads and trying to figure out what the hell's happening. This is where they realize that the new king have came, and they all begin to take a bow and stuff, and take a knee, which Naruto is pretty much is a little bit freaked out. But this is where the kingdom is out in the sky now. Now, I'm gonna say only a couple of ninjas that's doing missions and stuff. Like I'm gonna say Zabuza, since we're gonna say he's like is with Haku, pretty much roaming around the world now, if I'm correct. He pretty much sees the kingdom up top, and he's pretty much looking and saying, "What the hell is that thing?" Which Haku sees it too, and she's also confused. Yes, that's a she. And Naruto is basically, saying at the throne, look out in the sky, and basically saying, "Whoa, is this a castle that's floating?" Which this is where the butler says, "Yes, and this is all yours. You are the new king." Which this is where the subjects are coming out, and they're all taking the knee and stuff, and then they start saying all wise, well, cool stuff. Well, you could say crazy stuff, a little bit crazy, but not. They pretty much saying, "We are your servants, we are your knights, we are your weapon. You can use us wherever you like. You can use us as sacrifices, or they're basically saying all that what Naruto can do." Which this is where Naruto's saying, "Okay," but he pretty much says that he wants to head home. Which this is where, as they head, as Naruto's about to head home, this is where the castle teleports, and the castle teleports, or should I say, hovers over the Leaf Village. Which Minato looks out and he's pretty much gets into a fighting stance, and a bunch of ninjas are all freaking out. People are freaking out, saying, "What the hell is that thing? What's that castle doing here?" This is where Minato throws a kunai and teleports up there and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Until Naruto sees his dad and says, "Dad!" and runs up to his dad and hugs him, which Minato says, "Son." Or basically he says Naruto. Now this is where Naruto is explaining everything and saying that he's a king of kings and all that, which Minato is saying, "Oh," and which Minato knows about the King of Kings because, like I said, he's a descendant, but he never had the power of it. This is where Minato is basically saying, "Well, can you like teleport the castle somewhere else?" Which Naruto thinks, and he teleports the castle somewhere else with Minato. Now, this is where Naruto thinking where's a good place to really put the castle at, and he just thought about the Final Valley. Well, he thought about this certain area, and he puts it there. Now, this is where, well, he put it at the Hidden Ring, and now the butler basically tells Naruto that he can teleport back to the castle, but he has responsibilities to make sure to watch over the castle and take care of it and watch over the people and stuff, which Naruto kind of don't want to do it, but since the King of Kings power is activating now, he is getting more wiser and smarter and stuff. So he most like he agrees to it and says that he's going to do his best. Now we're going to do a time skip and we're going to have a 10-year-old Naruto. Now this 10-year-old Naruto is already wise, very intelligent, very wise, and very strong, and he has a lot of power. This is where Naruto will look a little bit different, as he will have a crown on his head, but he will have the same outfit attire. Now this is where Naruto's basically going and stuff, and he pretty much shows up in the academy, not late or anything, and he pretty much sits down, but sits down, pretty much just not doing anything and reading a book, because he likes to read Shakespeare's books and stuff, and all that. He's a more like a bookworm, but pretty much as he's reading and stuff, this is where I'm gonna say half of the girls of the fandom group is fighting over Naruto and stuff, and also Sasuke, because Sasuke is not ahead, but Naruto is ahead of Sasuke. So yeah, this is where all the girls are saying, "No, I'm gonna eat lunch with Naruto today." Which Naruto says, ladies, please calm down. We can all have lunch together because Naruto's wise and he knows the share all the treat all women with equal, so he wants to have lunch with all of them, so they don't have to fight over him. Which this is where all the girls are fighting, freaking out and stuff, and passing out and stuff. This is where Naruto looks at Hinata and asks, "Well, she likes to join him too," which Hinata passes out too. Which Naruto says, I guess that was a yes." Now, of course, after all that, this is where Sasuke and Naruto was pretty much talking to each other and saying that are they going to train later on. Well, Sasuke asks that question, which Naruto says yeah, because Naruto and Sasuke is great friends in this. Now, this is where also Naruto sees Sakura and asks if she likes to train with them too, which Sakura is blushing and saying, "Me?" Which Naruto's saying, "Yes, you, because I can see the future a little bit, and you're going to be on our team, and you're going to be useless, and I don't like to have useless trash bags on my team," which Naruto says is to her, which she pretty much says, "Hey, that's not nice," which Sasuke begins to a little bit laugh because he knows it's true. And also half the class knows it's true too, but they're not laughing because they don't want to get punched by Sakura. But pretty much this is where Naruto, I'll say, before after school, this is where Naruto basically does a chakra test and passes with ease because Kurama's not messing with his chakra because he has the good Kurama. The good Kurama, I feel like he's not going to mess with his chakra, so he passes with ease. Now, after Naruto passes with ease, this is where Mizuki finds someone else to pretty much trick to grab the scroll. And Naruto can see the future of what Mizuki is going to do by hearing his voice. And he pretty much says, "I'm not going to, well, can't have that." So he pretty much waits till the kid grabs the scroll and stops the kid and pretty much tells him it's not really worth it. Now, the kid says, "All right," and gives Naruto the scroll. And Naruto doesn't read from the scroll because he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He's already powerful. And he just pretty much teleports it back into the office. Now, he leaves a note saying that he's going to stop Mizuki, and he's telling his father that because his father's going to come back and do it. So, well, basically, look, this is where Naruto goes after Mizuki, and Mizuki pretty much is, as Rizzo Cannon, is waiting, while Naruto pretty much comes right beside him and says, "I know that you're a traitor at the leaf," which Mizuki freaks out and jumps and throws a bunch of kunai at Naruto. This is where Naruto dodges on, well, pretty much not dodges on him. He summons a shield and pretty much just blocks all attacks. This is where he throws a shield at Mizuki, and Mizuki pretty much gets hit in the head and falls down on the ground. While Mizuki falls down on the ground, this is where Naruto pretty much is walking slowly, and he pretty much stomps down on Mizuki's back and pretty much stabs a sword down in his spine, pretty much killing Mizuki. This is where Naruto picks up the sword and says, "Never be a traitor to my kingdom again." He pretty much treats the leaf as his kingdom. Even though he has a kingdom, he treats the leaf. He wants to have two kingdoms. So, yeah, he treats the leaf as his kingdom. And he pretty much goes. Now, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Was the King of Kings. If you like, leave a like, comment. Let's get this up to 50 likes if we can. I will do another RMAG part 2. But I'm Keishan Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.